biggest place for me is believing in housing families. Housing people and having them feel stable, to me, is like the root of raising stable children. I had an idea, and my husband Michael knew how to start a business. He's done it, and he knew that we had to have success before we tried to go out and sell our model to the local communities. He partnered me with an amazing attorney, and he's been on, Paul Andronico, has been on our board from the beginning. So the three of us started, and then we got the most wonderful, just amazing director. Our ED is definitely Dev. Everyone knows Dev has taken us to a whole nother level.
I got involved because Mike and Debbie Hatfield called me. I had been doing legal work for another organization that they were part of, and they wanted to see if something they'd heard of called a land trust might be viable. They wanted to figure out a way to subsidize a project once and have it stay in the housing stock. They were very concerned that what they had seen with other models was they'd help fund a house to be built, and it would get built, it would be affordable for some period of time, and then it would get sold at market rate. And the jurisdiction or the other nonprofit might get some money back to go build the next home out of that, but they wouldn't, the home would be gone from the nonprofit world. And so they wanted to see if there was a way to keep each home that was built affordable forever.
We had an existing first-time home ownership program that just wasn't working. We weren't happy with it because we were losing money, and the homeowner wasn't happy because it just didn't fit their needs.
So the keys to the land trust: one, we sell it for a price that the homeowner can afford. So whatever price they can afford, that's what we charge. Somebody might be able to pay $200,000, somebody else might be able to pay $250,000. We sell it to what they can pay based on their median income. That's number one. Number two, we restrict the price they can sell it at. So if they were at 80% of median income and they could afford it when they bought it in 2013, when they raise their kids and sell it in 2033, they have to sell it to a family who also is earning 80% of median income at that time in the future. A lot more money at that time, but still affordable for that family. Three, there's a technical component that we don't sell the land to them. We sell simply the house itself, and we lease the land to them for 99 years. That's really a legal mechanism to ensure that we can enforce that price restriction on resale that I mentioned earlier. And then lastly, it's perpetual. The model is designed so that it goes from generation to generation, so it always is resold at an affordable price. And the subsidy only has to happen once. So you build the home, maybe the local jurisdiction helps you with that on the front end, but they only have to pay it once. And after that, it's just affordable over and over and over again, and there's no additional subsidy needed, which is really different from other housing programs.
For most people, affordable housing has no meaning, but in our program it has a very distinct meaning, and that is that a family shouldn't pay more than 30% of their income on housing, and that if you're buying a house, it shouldn't cost more than 3 times your income. So without the land trust taking the land out of that quotient, there's no way that almost any moderate income family could afford to buy a house in Petaluma.
As we grow our inventory of affordable housing, they stay affordable. And that to me is just amazing that we can have 10 homes that in the future could affect 100 families.
Well, this is a complicated program to run because it involves real estate, finance, and the emotional part of home ownership. And the Land Trust is excellent at shepherding our first-time home buyers through that whole system, from being chosen, what their affordability quotients are, up to the time that they move into their homes.
I know that the Land Trust's staff have become family members to these families. They're like family. That's what's amazing by looking back over the 11 years, is to see it worked. It worked, and it's worked in this economy where a lot of people are losing their homes. We haven't had any foreclosures.
This is workforce housing. It isn't just, subsidized housing for people who have financial difficulties. I have a direct connection to the community with my job in law enforcement. We see what I call core members of the community that go beyond just residents, but they're people that work here, foundation builders such as teachers, police officers, firefighters, paramedics, nurses, which are all great to have in a neighborhood, but really from a public safety standpoint, they're what we call first responders. So if there's a natural disaster or a crisis or an emergency, our first responders are coming from within the community. They're not 35, 45 minutes away. They're here immediately and able to jump into action.
I measure success what I call heads on beds. So to me, it's all about how many families have we helped buy a home that otherwise they would have been priced out of.